South African Airways became a symbol of hope when South Africa found itself on a new democratic path and economic sanctions were lifted in 1991. The airline expanded rapidly over the next few years, adding a string of domestic and overseas routes. But it struggled to turn a profit for more than a decade and found itself on the verge of financial ruin in 2019. It sparked talks in 2021 to sell a 51% stake to private equity partner Takats, which have now fallen flat.
It's not quite clear what went wrong with the deal because there was too much secrecy surrounding the deal from the outset. It seems to me that the official explanation is something around a change in valuation. So apparently SAA was valued at 2.4 billion rands. It's now valued at 6 billion rands. SAA has not published financial statements for some time, so it's difficult to judge the value.
One of the oldest airlines in the world is now a mere fraction of the Goliath it once was, after a significant restructuring in 2019. SAA now operates just a small fleet of aircraft with just 1,000 staff, whose fate is uncertain along with the airline.
The reality is that it is a company that still employs a lot of people who are dedicated to making it work. But in the absence of the type of support that would be necessary from the capital markets or from the shareholders or from whoever else is willing to put up the capital here, it is difficult to imagine that it will survive much longer in its current form.
Government believes SAA can survive on its own without state help for the next 18 months, but analysts believe it's highly unlikely, given that its survival has come at a huge cost to the public.
The ANC government has taken that money from South African taxpayers to put in SAA. If you've put in $2.5 billion in something and it's worth only $300 million today, it is really a poor investment.
It's an airline that has never really mastered the changing winds or the changing tides of what the aviation industry is all about. So it's really been a combination of that ideological fixation with holding on to this particular asset and also, ironically, putting in the type of people to govern it that was so utterly incompetent at running that it simply condemned the airline to eternal failure.
SAA has been a proud feature in South African skies for the last 90 years. But if the state is not able to find a buyer or return the airline to profitability in the next 18 months, it could mean the end of the runway for one of Africa's most iconic carriers. CGTN, Cape Town.